State of Decay 2 is upon us, and it's an absolutely killer zombie game, which got us thinking, what are some of the other iconic zombies on Xbox? Let's take a look. The name given to Remember Me's zombie-like enemies is Leapers, but really they should be called Weird Brain Boys because a device in their heads has transformed them into cranky freaks. This 2013 sci-fi adventure takes place in a Paris of the future, where the invention of an implant allows users to relive their most cherished memories. But it's possible to get addicted to this implant, and when that happens, well, here's the result. It degenerates the mind and disfigures the body, and it makes you quite angry too. They've got everything associated with traditional zombies: the horde mentality, the thirst for blood, the awful skincare regime. Leapers populate the most downtrodden areas of Paris, like slums and sewers, and you'll do well giving them a wide berth, or just run up and punch them in the face. You can also do that.
Solomon Grundy is the beefiest of all zombies. He's basically a zombie Hulk, and in Injustice: Gods Among Us, he doesn't even need backup, unlike the other zombies in this list. He just comes at you swinging his gross grey arms. If you're not familiar with this cult DC villain, Grundy's backstory tells of a criminal called Cyrus Gold, who fell into a swamp and died. The swamp had magical powers though and resurrected him, turning him into a mindless brute that wants to destroy everything. Great, thanks for that, swamp. His powers include superhuman strength to rival Superman, and the sort of resilience you'd expect from someone who not even death could kill. Plus, with the ability to regenerate flesh and regrow limbs, this guy is almost impossible to bump off. Look at these moves. For someone with a rotting brain, he's pretty creative. Not many zombies would think to pull a tombstone from their chest and whack someone with it. Mass Effect's husks are essentially cyborg zombies, a mashup of synthetic and organic material made using the bodies of formerly alive things. The process of turning a human into a husk involves impaling them on huge spikes, which converts a human's organs and skin into cybernetic materials. What these people lose in the ability to think freely and, generally enjoy life, they gain in awesome blue eyes and a cool electrical charge attack. I'd probably rather stay as a human to be fair, but being a husk is not without its charms. So where do they come from? It was first thought robot race the Geth did this to their captors as a form of psychological warfare to make soldiers fight their own dead. But in Mass Effect 2, you discovered husks are a Reaper origin. Reapers, or massive space squids, have been using them for millions of years to cleanse all life in the Milky Way. I enjoy a spring clean as much as the next gal, but that's taking it too far.
Zombie takes place in modern day London, swamped with walking corpses, and it's a game so English that you actually use an unbreakable cricket bat as a melee weapon. You can't get more patriotic than battling a beefeater in front of Buckingham Palace, or fighting a punk by a police car. The story kicks off with a mysterious figure called the Prepper, tasking you with finding a cure to a viral outbreak. And what follows is a perilous journey around a free roam city as you head through Brick Lane, Spitalfields Market, the Tower of London, and Buckingham Palace itself. God, it's like the world's deadliest pub crawl. Zombie incorporates what's best about the genre. You can pick up plywood and use it to barricade doors, and there's a permadeath system, which means once you die, your character's gone for good. You can respawn as someone new, although you'll have to physically go and collect the loot from your own body, battling your own zombified corpse in the process. I'm just filling the place up with copies of myself. Truly, this is a narcissist zombie game.
Oh, it's Christmas time. You know what that means? Chestnuts roasting by an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, and zombies eating off your face and half of your torso. Oh, memories. You might think everything is lovely and sacred during the festive holidays, but Dead Rising 4 proved to us that nothing is safe when it comes to the undead. Enter Frank West, a mean, lean, selfie-taking machine. Whilst the Dead Rising zombies truly are a nightmare that can do all kinds of serious damage, you do get a lot of satisfaction from wiping them out, whether it's grabbing the most bizarre melee weapon you can find and obliterating all those around you, to getting tight and snug in the exosuit and unleashing hell. You really can turn a pretty dire situation around. Plus, anyone who has suffered hell in a shopping mall can finally get their revenge. Bad memories and sleepless nights from all the endless queues and extortionate prices? Let me introduce you to zombie slaying therapy. You'll sleep like a baby after this.
Now this is more like it. Zombies of the cute kind. These are the only guys on this list charming enough to chomp on my brain. I give them full permission. They might be a little too busy for that though, given that in the class-based multiplayer action of Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2, they're engaged in an all-out struggle against their mortal enemies, shrubbery. You'll fight them in the streets, you'll fight them in the factories and in the coliseums, you'll fight them in the Zombopolis, home of the laser shooting zombies. These are some of my favorite designs of any zombie ever. There's a superhero zombie, there are pirate zombies, scientist zombies, and American football zombies. And they've all got alternative skins too, so you can customize them to your heart's content. I've yet to see a zombie in this game I didn't like. In the fight between the vengeful undead and a bunch of vegetables, I know who my money's on.
Left 4 Dead 2 is like the pick and mix for zombies. So many choices and so many flavors, each one as disgusting and horrifying as the last. Left 4 Dead is pretty much the definitive first-person zombie shooter. Team up with some mates, make your way through a zombie-infested level, and try to make it to the end to be rescued without becoming zombie lunch. So Left 4 Dead 2 has your standard infected, you know, the run-of-the-mill zombies, who auditioned for the role as something more exciting, but just ended up being an extra. But then you've got the special infected, and they're the real A-listers of the show. My favourite has to be the Boomer. This large and in charge chap will attempt to vomit on you, causing all the other zombies to pile on you for a taste of that sweet, sweet bile. Yeah, zombies are gross. There's the spitters, the jockeys, the chargers, the tanks, the smokers, and the hunters. So many different ways to be mauled to death. The nightmare shout out has to go to the witch though. Disturb her crying and it's game over for you. Just follow my lead. Turn off your lights, tiptoe along, and you should be fine. Damn it. Yeah, there goes my face.
Deadly Premonition has some of the most downright unsettling zombies in all of games. Look at the way they move. Something's just not right in their bones, like, just stand up. You haven't got very stable footing in that position. Honestly, do you need me to give you lessons in how to be a zombie? You're not going to kill me, you're just weirding me out. These pale-skinned dead guys show up right at the start of this cult mystery adventure, and they set the tone for what is just an incredibly weird experience. Not least by looking like they're constantly stuck in a Neo-Matrix pose, but also because they walk around saying things like, "Don't hurt me," and "I don't want to die." Great. How did a zombie manage to make me mortally conflicted? Now I feel bad when I shoot them.
Zombies are awful, right? They terrorize the land, they get in the way of you, pop into the shops, and don't even get me started on the smell. What really sucks about zombies though, is when they start killing off all of the characters you love. Telltale's The Walking Dead is perhaps the worst culprit for this. The reason you won't be sleeping is because you're sobbing too hard into your pillow at night. The Walking Dead Season 1 starts with a great cast of characters. From those you loathe to those you love and everything in between. It soon becomes clear you should stop forming any kind of attachment to them though, because not too far into the game you have to choose who becomes zombie food. Sorry Doug, I'm just not that into you. Whilst the Walking Dead zombies are relatively slow, the sheer volume of them makes them a true nightmare. Nowhere is really safe from their swarm, and before you know it you're saying goodbye to everyone you've grown attached to. Good night Doug, my sweet prince, I barely knew you.
While some ghouls in Fallout take great offense to you calling them a zombie, because come on, it's not particularly nice, others partake in the zombie social norms of trying to rip off your face. They aren't the dead reanimated or the unlucky folks who have been infected by some terrible disease, but people who have been mutated from intense and prolonged exposure to nuclear radiation. Bit of a bum deal really. Bruce Banner gets to become the Hulk, and these guys' skin just falls off. Some ghouls can integrate into human society, but the ghouls we're focusing on here are feral ghouls. They come in a range of styles, from the hordes of regular ferals to the incredibly dangerous glowing ones. Noticing the difference between intelligent ghouls and feral ghouls is simple. Is it sprinting at you with murder in its eyes? If so, probably best to run away.
When you think of zombies, you usually don't think of tentacles and egg sacs, but Halo's Flood fit the definition to a T. They're basically what happens when a parasitic organism infests a sentient life form and uses it to its own ends, namely being all gross. The Flood has turned humans, Covenant, and brutes into zombies during its long, moist history festering around the galaxy. So in terms of numbers, they're by far the biggest undead force on this list. They've come close to eliminating all life in the Milky Way on more than one occasion. You first encounter the Flood around about the middle of Halo Combat Evolved, and by the end of the game, they've become such a nuisance that the Covenant actually ignore you to fight them instead. Since then, the Flood have gone on to appear in every Halo game, usually acting as nice little palate cleansers where you get to whip out your shotgun and just go nuts. So many tendrils.
So there we have it, those are 12 iconic zombie-filled games on Xbox that you need to play. Make sure to let us know down in the comments below which your favourite is and if we missed any out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on any Xbox content. Smash that like button if that's what you're into, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!